Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Okay, great. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Super, thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Eastrose Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Welcome to folks in the chapel and to those watching us over YouTube. My name is Patricia Walsh, and I am your worship leader today. Our speaker today is our own Reverend Landerman Zucker, and she is going to be speaking on the topic of the Chrysalis Year. Eastrose Fellowship sits on the occupied territory of the Clackamas Chinook people, who were forcibly displaced from this land to the Grand Ronde Reservation in 1855. We acknowledge the sacrifices endured by the ancestors of this land, and that our presence here today is only possible because of the injustices committed against them. We recognize the inherent sovereignty of the Chinook Nation and the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, who carry on the traditions, history, and legacy held by their ancestors from time immemorial to this day. We seek meaningful relationship with these communities that foster repair. Let us now take a moment to greet each other here today. First, though, we are going to greet the folks who are visiting us online. So if everybody would stand, face the back of the room, wave to the cameras, and then greet each other. I know. For our online guests, if you would like to share a joy or sorrow during that part of the service, you can do so by entering it in the YouTube channel, in the chat, and then it will be shared here with everyone. I also encourage you to identify yourself in the chat so that we may better acknowledge your presence here with us today. For those who are physically here with us, first, I want to remind you to turn off your cell phones and all the things that go beep or buzz or whatever they do. And that after the service today, we will be having what we call spirited conversation with Reverend Robert. We will meet right here in front of the podium to talk about today's service or whatever else comes up. Right now, though, I want to ask you to join in a responsive call to worship. You will find the words on the screen. I will read the gold, and you will read the white. This is number 557 in the gray hymnal, A Common Destiny. All living substance, all substance of energy, being, and purpose are united and share the same destiny.
All people, those we love and those we know not of, are united and share the same destiny.
Birth to death, we share this unity with the sun, earth.
Our brothers and strangers.
Flowers of the field, snowflakes, volcanoes and moonbeams.
Birth, life, death, unknown, known, unknown.
Our destiny from unknown to unknown.
May we have the faith to accept this mystery and build upon its everlasting truth.
We will now light our chalice. These are the words of Barbara Wells. O spinner, weaver of our lives, your loom is love. May we who are gathered here be empowered by that love to weave new patterns of truth and justice into a web of life that is strong, beautiful, and everlasting.
Thank you, Patty. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Before we start our service today, I really have to lift up the horrible events in Minneapolis and other parts of the country and ask us to hold together a moment of silence, a minute of silence for the individuals who have been murdered and all the people who have been harassed. So I want to start the service today with this reverence and this silent witness to these individuals. So let us just be silent together. For all that stand in resistance, the tens of thousands that have marched in resistance, and the hundreds of clergy, including many Unitarian Universalists, who have risked their lives to go to Minneapolis, we say amen. Our opening words today are by the Reverend Victoria Safford, Map of a Journey in Progress. Here is where I found my voice and chose to be brave. Here's a place where I forgave someone against my better judgment, and I survived that, and unexpectedly, amazingly, I became wiser. Here's where I was once forgiven, was ready for once in my life to receive forgiveness and to be transformed, and I survived that too. I lived to tell the tale. This is the place where I said no more loudly than I thought I ever could, and everybody stared, but I said no anyway, loudly, because I knew it must be said, and those staring settled down into harmless, ineffective grumbling, and over me they had no power anymore. Here's a time and here's another when I laid down my fear and I walked right into it, right up to my neck in that roiling water. Here's where cruelty taught me something. Here's where I was first astonished by compassion and knew it for the miracle it was, the requirement it is. It was a trembling time. And here much later is where I returned the blessing clumsily. And it wasn't hard, but I was unaccustomed. It cycled round, and as best I could, I sent it back out again, passed the gift along. This circular motion around and around has no apparent end. Here's a place, a murky puddle, where I have stumbled more than once and fallen. I don't know yet what I've learned there. Here is where I began to look with my own eyes and listen with my own ears and sing my own song, shaky as it was. Here is where, as if by a surgeon's knife, my heart was opened up, and here, and here, and here, and here. These are the landmarks of conversion. Our first hymn is number 6 in the gray hymnal, Just as Long as I Have Breath, and the words will be on the screen. Please rise as you are able.
Answer yes to
seated. Now Tara will come up with the children.
Can you see? Can you see right there? Okay. Good morning. Today's story features an unlikely hero, a tiny caterpillar named Henry, with big dreams of seeing the world. Henry isn't particularly strong or fast. He can't fly or swim, and he'll have to figure out how to get over the garden wall. But he believes it can be done. And while Henry does some exciting and brave things, the most remarkable part of his story isn't what he does, but who he becomes. Henry's story connects to our UU value of transformation. Transformation means we grow and change. We're always learning, always becoming who we're meant to be, and we help each other along the way. This is Caterpillar Dreams, written and illustrated by Clive McFarland. Henry has a dream. He wants to fly. His whole life, he's wanted to see the world outside his garden. Night and day, Henry dreams of going on amazing, incredible, impossible-seeming adventures. But Henry is just a little caterpillar. And how is a little caterpillar ever going to see all that the world has to offer? His friends don't want Henry to leave the garden. It's safe here, says Snail. It's where your friends are, Worm tells him. Seriously, Henry, an adventure? Sounds exhausting, Slug says with a sigh. Only Toad understands. Here's the thing with dreams, Henry. If you don't chase them, they always get away. Henry is determined not to let his dreams get away. Hi, bird. I want to go on an amazing, incredible, impossible-seeming adventure. Will you take me? I'm waiting for my eggs to hatch, but I can help you get over the wall, sings Bird. Perfect, says Henry. But on the other side of the wall is a busy road. Hi, Mole. I'm going on an amazing, incredible, impossible-seeming adventure. Can you help me? Asks Henry. I can't go on an adventure today. I need to finish my tunnel under the road, Mole mumbles. That's okay, I'll help, says Henry. But on the other side of the road is a big, big lake. Hello, fish. I'm going on an amazing, incredible, impossible-seeming adventure. Want to come along? Oh, I could never leave my lake, but I'm happy to help you across. Awesome, says Henry. Henry flew over a wall, burrowed under a road, and crossed a lake. But still, his adventure had barely even begun. Then, far ahead, Henry sees something he's never seen before, a giant balloon. This is where my amazing, incredible, impossible-seeming adventure will begin. Henry just knows it. If he can get to the top of the balloon, Henry will be able to see the whole wide world. But before Henry reaches the top, something happens to him. A cocoon starts to form around him. He tries to wiggle and squiggle his way free, but he can't move. Henry is stuck. His dream is going to get away. It's dark in his cocoon and warm. Henry can't help but fall asleep. But while he sleeps, something happens that is more amazing than any dream. Henry wakes and pokes his head out of the cocoon. He's riding the balloon high in the sky. Henry knows he should be scared, but he isn't. Henry has become a butterfly. He has wings, he can fly, he can go anywhere. So where does Henry go? Home. The most amazing, incredible, impossibly possible place of all. Never stop chasing your dreams. Henry's story reminds us that change is part of becoming who we're meant to be. We're always growing and changing, and fortunately, we don't have to do it alone. And now let's say goodbye to Reverend Robin and the grown-ups and gather together in our classroom. If the adults along the center aisle will form a bridge, we'll sing the children out.
We're going to enter into some more quiet time together now, just to create some spaciousness and a sense of peace, inner peace, particularly with everything we've just shared, and joys and sorrows and everything going on around us in our country and world. So I invite you to close your eyes and put your feet on the floor and uncross your arms, maybe drop your hands into your lap. And just one big inhale and exhale to start. Great, and then soften your face, starting with your forehead. Feel your jaw relax, sort of drop your jaw. Breathe, drop your shoulders to really let them fall. Begin some intentional rhythmic breathing. 4 beats in through your nose slowly, 5 or 6 beats out through your mouth slowly, creating a sense of spaciousness as you go from the crown of your head down to the soles of your feet, and feeling yourself opening up in each part of your body as you go, in your heart, in your mind, in your gut, and where you are grounded to the earth. So let us breathe together. As you breathe, I offer this meditation. Sacred universe, here I stand on the cusp of a new day. All may seem the same at first, a simple continuum of the day before. I do not know what this day will bring me. Yet what I do know is I am one day older, and I am one day closer to that final breath. May I carry within me then times of quiet, so that I may feel the pulse of my connection to all beings, that I might hear the whisper of earth in my bones. May I use my hands, head, and heart in service to heal hurt and to spread light. Blessed be. Bring yourself slowly out of your breathing. One big exhale. Our spirit song today is Return Again. It's number 1011 in the Teal hymnal. It's a round. We're going to sing it once through together, and then this group will be group 1, and this group will be group 2, and we'll sing it 3 times. Micah.
Return
The Idiocy of Flight by Jane Zepka. The Idiocy of Flight, a well-known poem by Robert Graves, speaks of butterflies, their honest idiocy of flight, lurching here and there by guess and God and hope and hopelessness. Any number of quotations sound this way, and so I think do we, but privately. Publicly, we speak the civilized language of human beings who have it under control. No idiocy, no lurching. The world sees that we function well and happily. Other people believe it, and even we begin to believe it, life moves forward as always. Privately, though, we experience long stretches of turbulence and the occasional sudden downdraft. So many in our church feel alone when things go poorly at home, when they feel that age, whatever it is, or when they grieve. So many feel alone in their money worries or career problems. Awful life situations seem to set us apart from one another. Normal lives include these awful parts. They don't always show from the outside. It's hard to believe any other folks at the coffee hour are feeling the same kinds of screaming pain or emptiness or entrapment or panic or precariousness or low-grade worry. Lives, even lives well lived, don't stay in place for long. At least that's how it seems from the peculiar vantage point of the minister's study. It's a help, I think, to accept the idiocy of flight, the butterfly flight pattern so firmly implanted in the human mind and heart. Let the lurching, then, be no surprise, and know we're all up there, flying every which way together.
Always wonderful to hear you. When my children were young, we indulged our collective fascination with science by purchasing a variety of hands-on science kits. You may identify with that. We had an ant farm and we grew sprouts and fungi. We examined spores under a Junior Explorer microscope, and we simulated a volcano with baking soda and vinegar. We nurtured some megacrystals into existence. I seem to remember a terrarium at one point. We loved up our cat Crockett, and briefly 2 hermit crabs named Butterboy and Toe Jam, plus a wee amphibian called simply Danute. Danute. Butterboy, Toe Jam, and Danute. One Christmas, we bought the National Geographic Butterfly Growing Kit, which included a voucher for 5 live caterpillars. The description of the product is so poetic, you expect a string quartet to play in the background as you assemble it. With the National Geographic Butterfly Growing Kit, kids will watch on with wonder as the caterpillars grow before beginning one of nature's most incredible transformations. They'll eventually form a chrysalis to protect themselves as they develop and finally emerge as beautiful painted lady butterflies. That's the edited version. Cool. It was fascinating to watch, of course, but I will cut to the punchline. Only 3 of them made it, despite our diligence to follow the directions to the letter. But the kids learned something in that too about nature and about life and death. And we all survived it. Although Michaela had named the caterpillars, probably should have stopped her from doing that, so there were tears for Slinky and Stretch. We set the butterflies free once they emerged, and we cheered them on into the suburban skies. As you might imagine, I have officiated numerous weddings of all styles and moods. More than 700, I would reckon. I was trying to add it up. That's a lot of weddings. One season, I had so much wedding food, I quipped that I had eaten my weight in hors d'oeuvres. Now, during the early 2000s, there was an unfortunate trend of releasing butterflies at the conclusion of the ceremony. I tried to talk couples out of this. They came in a box that was meant to be kept cool, and when opened, the butterflies were meant to burst into the air, fluttering their message of love above the beaming couple. And you guessed it, right? Too many times, box opens, dead butterflies fall out. Not really the sort of energy you're really wanting during a wedding service. So I kind of banned that practice along with a couple others. Butterflies are beautiful but fragile things. We know that with their gossamer wings. I've always been astonished at the resilience of the millions of monarch butterflies who migrate each year from areas of North America to overwinter in Mexico. And these migrations, they've created what's called a super generation of the species who live a lot longer than regular monarch butterflies, like the ones in the butterfly kit, who probably perished within a week of our release. Butterflies fascinate and they delight us. When you explore the spiritual meaning, you find the symbolism of transformation. No surprise there. In my book on Native American animal medicine, it reminds us that to use butterfly medicine, you must astutely observe your position in the cycle of self-transformation. You may be at the egg stage of an idea, or you may be in the chrysalis stage of going within and developing, or you may be in the final stage of emergence. The poet Forrest Knapp likens this to poetry itself when he writes, "A butterfly doesn't need poetry to express itself. Its life is itself an expression of poetry. That poetry is already written on the pages of eternity." A butterfly doesn't need history to define itself. Its life is a piece of time unfolding timelessly. A butterfly does not need language to present itself. It already has an agreement with the wind and the flowers. A butterfly can only be a butterfly, for its journey is fundamental and complete. Because butterflies don't change. They emerge. They transform. We all have experienced many changes in our life: school, work, relationships, illness, loss, success. But change is different from transformation. Change is constant, but it doesn't necessarily transform you. That takes an awareness and will. Or one could say a zeal or willingness to be changed and be transformed at a deep and fundamental level. To engage the self in change, not just the superficial and tangible elements like changing your haircut or going to a new gym. So I want you to think at the end of the service today, but also when you are going from Sunday to Thursday and back to Sunday again, what has changed you? I imagine you have a list. But more importantly, what have you allowed to transform you? Something very different. One of life's transitions that many in this room has experienced is retirement. Certainly a change, but a transformation, that's absolutely for each individual person to say. I've asked friends and colleagues, and some of you, when you knew it was time to retire, and many of you said, when you know, you know. I believe this is true, and I know that it's time for me to retire from active ministry this summer. I remember when I was a caterpillar in ministry. It was more than 30 years ago. And it will have been 26 years of ordained ministry and 6 years of lay ministry prior to that, all in heartfelt service to Unitarian Universalists. So how do I know it's time? Well, first, I'll be 69 in April, and compared to Jean Wygant, I don't know why I think that matters, but it matters to me. And I had thought that 70 would be an age when I retire, but I know it's time. And I've asked myself if I have the bandwidth to plan 36 more services, write as many sermons, and be fully present to you as I've sought to be these past 2.5 years. And I've answered myself after a lot of discernment with a gentle but generous no. Pardon me. I want to be clear, this is not some sort of personal decision that is in any way a judgment on Eastrose or this congregation. Far from it. I've been so grateful to be your minister, and I will continue to serve you with love until we eat the cake at the end of my time here. I know it's natural, since this isn't my first time, and with a ministry coming to an end, I know it's very natural to pull away from somebody that you will lose. But I really ask you to be fully present with me in the months ahead that we will share. We have work to do, we have a future to create, and I want us all to be there together for that. We can't deny, though, the financial realities that have also impacted my decision. Eastrose cannot continue to fund an operating budget beyond its means, and that includes ministry at the level I have been serving you. You cannot keep draining your savings to cover the budget. I myself have recommended that the congregation create a programming and staffing framework and budget that is realistic and sustainable and supports the overall mission of the church. There's no resentment here at all, no hard feelings. Accepting these realities actually offers a graceful parting for us and the best path forward for Eastrose, wherever it may lead. So it is actually more important than ever that you generously support the congregation during our stewardship campaign in March, which will be called Be the Change. So I will retire. Gulp. When I look up retirement in the dictionary, it says the action or fact of leaving one's job and ceasing to work. Goodness, how bleak and dreary. I guess that is sort of a baseline definition. But as a result, being me, I sought out some more positive perspectives on retirement, like life is your artwork, create it. No one else can do it for you. You create it by seeing life and living it to the fullest. That's Max Ehrmann. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. Robert Frost. Often when you think you're at the end of something, you're at the beginning of something else. Fred Rogers. You don't stop laughing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop laughing. Michael Pritchard. I can't lie, I have mixed feelings and some trepidation about retirement because ministry is such an identity. My colleagues say I will always be Rev Robin to someone, many someones, maybe even myself. But I've been in the inspiration and transformation business all these years, and I intend to bring that spirit to my own retirement. When I mentioned this to a close colleague, he replied, "You will have a chrysalis year." That resonated. I loved that image, and it's why I called my sermon today A Chrysalis Year. He recommended a book called The Happiness Project as a vehicle, a map of a journey in progress, one could say, and he sent me a copy of the book as a gift. And I went online and I bought this butterfly-themed journal because why not? To accompany me through what I envision and hope to be a transformative year. I had expected to begin this book in January, but moving, injury, and illness kind of got in the way. But February is just right there on the horizon, and I'm ready to begin in the chrysalis stage of butterfly medicine and observe and feel what emerges. I don't feel the need when I retire to be productive, to have a side hustle planned, or put in an application to work part-time at Trader Joe's. I just want to be authentic and willing and wear some new skin and go back to some of the creative pursuits that I love. Spend time with family and friends. The first month in this book focuses on vitality, which I'm really looking forward to reading. The second on love, and others on friendship and mindfulness and attitude. And in the preface to the book, the author Gretchen Rubin offers 12 commandments to carry me or any of us through. 1, be yourself. 2, let it go. 3, act the way you want to feel. 4, do it now. 5, what's fun for other people may not be fun for you, and that's okay. 6, enjoy the process. 7, no deposit, no return. 8, lighten up. 9, do what ought to be done. 10, no calculations. 11, there's only love. And 12, bring a sweater. And a snack. If she was familiar with it, I imagine Rubin might also recommend the reflection we heard Patty give earlier by the Reverend Jane Jepka, entitled The Idiocy of Flight, and a poem she references by Robert Graves called Flying Crooked. He writes, "The butterfly, the cabbage white, his honest idiocy of flight, will never now, it is too late, master the art of flying straight. Yet has, who knows so well as I, a just sense of how not to fly. He lurches here and here by guess, and God and hope and hopelessness. Even the aerobatic swift has not his flying crooked gift." In all our days, now and in the future, as we strive to embody butterfly medicine in our own way, may we also embody the flying crooked gift of self-discovery, exploration, and the timeless unfolding of transformation. May all our caterpillar dreams come true, and may we take wing. Blessed be, blessed we, and amen. Our final hymn today is number 1007 in the Teal hymnal, There's a River Flowing in My Soul. Please rise as you are able. Please be seated.
One purpose of the church is to encourage all of us who gather here to grow more generous in spirit and in action. This is the great end of many of the world's faith traditions, to bring the human being closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. We now take an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit. We share half of the money collected each Sunday with a local organization that does good works in the community. Snowcap Community Charities is our Sharing the Bounty partner through from September through February. Eastrose has a long relationship with Snowcap. We are one of 25 founding churches. In 1967, we came together with other East Multnomah County churches to help with food, clothing, personal items, and needs for infants. We look to deepen our partnership with Snowcap over the next months. If you are attending online, you may donate by visiting the website or and clicking on the Donate Now button, or you can use the QR code that you see on the screen. If you are here for the first time, we invite you to let the basket pass you by and truly be our guest today. Tim and Phyllis are now going to collect the offering. Now, please join us in our song of gratitude, number 1010 in the Teal hymnal, We Give Thanks. Words will be on the screen. Oh, words are already on the screen. Our closing words are from Jean Olson. Go boldly. May you be brave enough to expose your aching woundedness and reveal your vulnerability. May you speak your deepest truths, knowing that they will change as you do. May you sing the music within you, composing your own melody, playing your song with all your heart. May you draw, paint, sculpt, and sew, showing the world your vision. May you write letters, poetry, biography, slogans, graffitis, the great novel, laying bare your words to love and hate. May you love, though your heart breaks again and again. And until the end of your days, may your life be filled with possibilities and courage. We extinguish this flame to remind us that love is the center. We explore and rest, engage and heal. Love remains the center. When all we can see is cold ashes, love remains. I want to thank everybody who helped make this service happen. And I have no announcements up here, but I know of one. The hike this week will be an urban hike. Meet here, 9:30. A little bit steep, but not very long. You don't need boots, just sneakers.
Patty?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the person who is leading the group, our own intrepid Jean, who's going to do, it's not a 5K, trust me.
I just want to add that it went out to all the people in the hiking group who get that email. If you didn't and you want to join us, I've got the information here, so catch up with me after the service.
It's meet here, 9:30. Wednesday. This is why I like written announcements.
And we will have spirited conversations here today after the service. And also on Tuesday, there is lunch with the minister at 12. We bring a lunch here, and we'll have lunch together for an hour in the Thatcher Room. So please join me now for the unison benediction. Go out into the world in peace, have courage, hold on to what is good, return to no person evil for evil, strengthen the faint-hearted, support the weak, help the suffering, honor all beings. And I hope that you will come together after the service for coffee and conversation, and then if you'd like, come back for spirited conversations. Go out in peace, return in love.